Good afternoon, and welcome to another edition of Doctor to Doctor in the chat room, where we discuss relevant topics that impact our communities and our world. And as always, today is no different. We've got an awesome show lined up for you today. Some great information coming your way. So if you have someone that you think could benefit from a great opportunity to jumpstart a career in a great field, but need some resources to help them get started, then you need to get in touch with them right now, because some information is coming up shortly that is going to help them. You don't want to miss today's show. But first, let me start with what's most important, and that is you, my friend, my 94.7 FM family. How are you? Are you taking good care of yourselves? I hope the answer to that question is yes. Make sure that you're taking care of yourselves. You deserve to be well physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So do whatever it takes to make sure that you are good. Okay. And again, I want to say thank you to you guys for coming back to share this hour with me each Saturday. It's because you come back that I get to come back and do what I do. So thank you, thank you, thank you. On today's show, we're going to bring you a real conversation about opportunities that can transform lives and strengthen our communities. I am your host, Dr. Rhonda Shaw, and today we're diving into a life changing program that's helping people across Tennessee build careers, gain financial stability, and create brighter futures. So, if you or someone you know has been struggling with employment or just finding a solid career path, then this is the Doctor to Doctor in the Chat Room episode for you. We are talking about Helping Hands of Tennessee. It's a program, a very powerful initiative that offers paid training. Listen to me, paid training in the dental field industry, where you can get certifications and an incredible support service like childcare, transportation, and even financial aid. We have some great folks joining us today. We have Sabrina Parker, who is the founder and overseer of the Helping Hands program, and she provides guidance and direction for these programs. We also have Rachel Lee, who is the director of outreach, and she works a lot to conduct community outreach and raise awareness about these programs. And they are both here today with Doctor to Doctor in the chat room to share insights about their pre apprenticeship and apprenticeship programs, who qualifies for the programs, how to apply for the programs, and how this opportunity is life changing or changing lives every day. Okay, so get ready to learn more about an exciting career opportunity that could be a perfect fit for you or for someone you love. So let's dive right into it. Okay. Welcome, Sabrina and Rachel. Thank you for being here to share with our listening audience today about Helping Hands and all of the amazing work that you guys do. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So listen, let's just jump right in. Tell us about Helping Hands, just the overarching mission of this organization, and just how you landed here doing this work.
Absolutely. Well, our mission is to build stronger communities and improve health outcomes.
Mm-hmm.
When we established our organization in December 2016, we actually started off by helping Medicare beneficiaries. We provided them Medicare education. We helped them with their state and federal applications for assistance. So if
Mm-hmm.
someone needed assistance for medication, which is a lot of people do.
Yeah.
We navigated that process, sent in those federal applications, and then looked for pharmaceutical companies that we could partner with that had discounts. And then the state applications as well. That is called the Medicare Savings Program. And it helps lower the Part B premiums that Medicare beneficiaries spend out of their Social Security checks. A lot
Mm-hmm.
of people don't even know that they're eligible for it, even right now as we speak. So
So
that's
you
what.
still do that. I'm sorry to cut in, but you still do that work.
Yes, I still do that right now to this day. Anyone that needs help with that, I'm your person for that. I'll be happy to help. It's a
Okay.
simple application, but it can save them thousands of dollars.
Okay.
On average, we were saving our Medicare beneficiaries between the medication and the Part B premiums and their doctor's copays $2,500 a year.
Oh wow.
But one thing became very clear to me when we started off our nonprofit is that these same individuals, a lot of them were wanting to get dentures, or they needed a tooth pull, or they needed a dental crown.
Mm-hmm.
And we called and called so many different places, and we couldn't find anyone that would take those individuals in. At the time, their Medicare Advantage Part C paid $1,000 a year in
Mm-hmm.
increments of $350 a quarter, and we just couldn't get anyone that was going to be willing to take that. Uh,
Yeah.
we finally had someone to say, "Yes, we'll take your clientele over here." And I was super excited until a few months later, I started getting a flood of complaints because that particular dental clinic took advantage of these individuals that
Mm.
earn no more than an average of $700 a month gross income.
Wow.
And so they took advantage of these people, and I just couldn't believe it. And so that frustrated me to the point that we started our own dental clinic. And through the grace of God, that's all I can say. It's just through God's grace that He took someone like me and helped open up my brain cells enough to be able to get all the information that's needed. We started off as a hybrid clinic, which meant that we took in insured people and uninsured people based upon a sliding scale. And so we made in-house dentures. We helped about 9,000 people through that clinic and through our Mission and Mercy events. We were there to service people regardless of their ability to pay. There's some people that were coming to our clinic, couldn't have the money to pay for the extraction. We did it no matter what. And so
Mm-hmm.
very proud of what we were able to accomplish. There's thousands of people that we were able to help right here in the West Tennessee area. But tragedy happened in my life personally, and we wanted to restructure things so I can kind of be more involved. I mean, I'm not a licensed dentist or a hygienist, so
Mm-hmm.
if I was back there pulling teeth, that would be against the law. And an experience for all to be had. So that never happened. I couldn't get into those positions, right? So we decided we wanted to still make an impact with oral health care, but leaning upon our mission, it is to build stronger communities and improve health outcomes. And one
Mm-hmm.
way that we can do that, while it still correlates back to oral health care, is through the dental laboratory apprenticeship program. So we were approved through the Tennessee Office of Apprenticeship in 2023 to become an apprenticeship provider. And so one of the ones that we were funded for was our dental laboratory apprenticeship program. And so that's where we're at right now. We just launched our first cohorts of classes. It's very
Yeah.
exciting. It's always fun challenges that I like apparently. And so this is another one. But it's a win-win. And Rachel can get into a lot more information too. But what this does is it takes layman's, it takes someone that's an ex-offender, it takes someone that's a single parent, someone that's a teenager or what have you, a veteran, and it takes someone that doesn't have any of those information or skill sets. And through our pre-apprenticeship program, we're starting off with teaching them basic dental anatomy, basic dental terminology. They'll learn about how to troubleshoot a 3D printer and how
Mm-hmm.
to use that 3D printer in order to print a dental appliance. That is what I call the cool part of the program, uh,
Mm-hmm.
where you're actually learning to use this 3D printer to print dentures, to
Mm-hmm.
print teeth for your dentures. I mean, it's
Yeah.
customizable completely. So it's something that is exciting because it's different, it's new.
Yeah.
But dentistry is changing, and we got to get people in the workforce prepared for those changes.
What have been some of the key challenges? And I'm going to get over to you, Rachel, because I want to talk about the community aspect of this. What have been some of the key challenges that you've seen in these underserved communities that you serve?
The lack of workforce. That is number
Mm-hmm.
one. The lack
Mm-hmm.
of workforce, because number one, especially when you think about being a dental laboratory technician, I don't know of anyone that woke up one day and go, "Gosh, I want to do that." It's something that
Mm-hmm.
people don't even know that that position is even there, and
Mm-hmm.
yet they're so desperately needed because all of these dentists are taking their appliances somewhere. I mean, their images somewhere to get made,
Mm-hmm.
and because of our laws throughout the United States, a dental laboratory can serve people all over the country. In fact, we can take orders all over the world from one
Mm-hmm.
laboratory. So
Mm-hmm.
the biggest challenge that we have is the lack of knowledge about what a dental laboratory technician even does, and then just a workforce, whether that be a dental assistant or
Mm-hmm.
a hygienist or a dentist. There's a shortage. It's a major shortage in the state of Tennessee. In fact, I served as part of Governor Bill Lee's Rural Health Task Force, and
Mm-hmm.
oral health care was a two major focal point with both health task forces that he had. He had one specifically tied to oral health care. I did not
Mm-hmm.
serve on that one, but I did serve on the Rural Health Task Force, which oral health care was one of the major components that was actually uh, funded. So that was part of the funding for last year, which we were very proud that the governor approved that, and it invited a lot of different people from all over the state to be a part of that rural health task force. And so we got a chance to make sure that we inserted oral health care within that plan, that strategic plan from the governor. But
Mm-hmm.
workforce has to be addressed. And so it really starts with providing that basic knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
We believe that if we provide you basic knowledge of dental anatomy and basic knowledge of dental terminology,
Mm-hmm.
now that you have passed those tests, we believe that with some encouragement, we can not only, hopefully encourage you to become a dental laboratory technician, but encourage you to go down other pathways as well. We
Mm-hmm.
want future dental hygienists. We want future dentists out of this program. And,
Mm-hmm.
it just sometimes takes, to be honest, someone that has to believe in you.
Yeah.
And you have to then, in turn, and that's what it took for me when I got into management. Someone saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. And
Mm-hmm.
so by encouraging those individuals, we believe that they in turn will say, wow, I can be this. I've already learned some basic things that most people don't know. And
Yeah.
I can take this knowledge and I can grow upon that knowledge. So that's what we want to do. And so the biggest challenge is, again, the workforce. But again, the other challenge is, since we are um, helping people who are in marginalized communities,
Yeah.
the biggest challenge is taking the existing resources that are available and helping people navigate through those resources. It is
Yeah.
a huge issue because I can think of several different nonprofits that have amazing programs, but not a lot of people know that they even have those programs.
Yeah.
And so it's about, how do we, as an organization, to build stronger communities, make sure that people are aware of those resources. And that's why we have people like Rachel and our director of operations, that's also a social worker with us, to make sure that
Mm-hmm.
people understand how
Mm-hmm.
to connect in with some of those existing programs that can provide those wraparound support services to reduce the barriers of the social determinants of health. That is a huge missing component for a lot of people, and it holds them back. So if I had to like bring it all the way back to really answer your question,
Mm-hmm.
it
Mm-hmm.
boils down to mental health. A lot of this is connected back, that having the confidence in yourself, believing in yourself, um, and then getting those resources that you need. A lot of that, when you boil it all down, a lot of that comes from our mental health. And
Yeah.
so that's why we put the partners together that we have, and we're wanting to grow that even more to make sure that we're addressing those barriers that people face.
Yeah, thank you. So, Rachel, I know that you are the director of outreach and your focus in this work is community. And I'm all about community mobilization. So, tell me how you landed in this work and just kind of give us an overview of, of your work.
Right. So it all started with me chancing upon this opportunity. So I found this opportunity, it just arises. It was last year, I think, on Indeed. And it caught me by surprise because it's like it piqued my interest because I was reading about it and I went to do research. Normally, that's what I do. I read about a job description. I do a research on the background of the company just to know what they're actually about and their mission statement. And while when I read it, I'm like impressed by what Sabrina has been doing for the community and what I know about her. So I have always been in the hospitality industry. So in the hotels, airlines, travel agencies, in the sales and marketing department. But there's a part of me that always wanted to do more than what I'm doing. Because I was always involved in volunteer work, mission work. And yes, I do that for the church part time. I mean, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
paid, but it's out of my own,
Yeah.
own free will, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
But it came to a point where I was seeking something more than just a career because this is not just a job. This is beyond a job. This is a life purpose we're talking about. This is something that speaks to me as a person. It gives me a sense of belonging and sense of purpose when I'm able to serve a community, serve and help people transform their lives for the better. Especially we're talking about the marginalized population, the minorities, and we belong to a minority ourselves. So we know how that means to us. And for somebody like me who have faced so much tribulations and trials in my life, and God has saved me countless of times. I can't even give a number to that. But one good example and a testimony is that He saved my life. I was supposed to die years ago from cancer, but He turned that around,
Mm.
miraculously turned it around and saved my life. And I'm living an extended bonus life. I tell everybody that all the time.
Mm.
Now that He has given me an extension to my
I
life,
like that.
I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
use this extension to serve His kingdom and to help His people. And the only way to do that in a way where it encompasses my personal life and my work professional life is to work in a nonprofit organization that does the same and that has a mission that aligns with mine. And together we are united for this common cause to serve the community and to help them transform our lives. And living in Selma, McNairy County, I'm surrounded by a lot of people who are in that state who requires all that assistance, um, be it healthcare, mental health, workforce development. So together as a community, I think we can make this world a better place. We can make this country a better place for everybody. And nobody should be uh, in a state where they felt like they're outcast. I don't like that way because just because you're a minority does not mean that you're an outcast. I don't like to have some people who are so judgmental they lack that empathy to give people this compassion that God has
Yeah.
instilled in us. And
Mm-hmm.
as human beings, God has given us all of us multiple chances. So how is it possible that we as humans can't give other humans the similar gesture, give them a second chance? So Sabrina started this program, and I think this program is an awesome program because I see it as a second chance to everybody that deserves it. And everybody deserves it as long as their mindset is, I want to turn things around for the better for myself and my family. Here, this program is for you. We are going to train you for free. We are going to empower you with the new set of skills that can transform your life. You can enter a new industry, which is a dental industry, which is healthcare. We know it's a growing, ever growing industry that's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to close down. Healthcare is always ever growing. People get sick. They experience tooth problems all the time. And like Sabrina said, there is a high demand for that, but low supply of all these people workforce. So in order to meet that demand, we are going to train them for free. And we are offering them even a stipend just to show up in class, a $400 support monthly just to show up in class. So this program is an awesome program for everybody. But of course, our targeted demographics are like veterans, low-income individuals, single parents, ex-convicts, for them to reintegrate into society, give them a second chance to look for a career advancement.
Yeah. I love it that you both know your why. We're going to prepare for a break. And when we come back, we're going to take a deeper dive into what your programs are, what you offer, how someone can get enrolled. We're going to talk about that when we come back from break. We'll be right back in a moment on WOJG.com if you're streaming live, or 94.7 FM. We'll be back in a minute. And we are still here with Sabrina and Rachel of Helping Hands. We're talking about the great programs that they have to offer the great folks in Haywood, Madison, and Hardeman counties of Tennessee. Let's talk about the pre-apprenticeship program. How can you apply? Tell me the details about the program, just how you get enrolled, how you get started. Someone's listening right now and they are ready to hear it. So let's go.
All righty. So this is a pre-apprenticeship program in the dental industry. It's a 12 months program, and it's available for all residents living in Hardeman, Madison, and Haywood County. Also, I like to stress about this program is our unique value proposition, how it sets us apart, and how is it different from other workforce programs that is out in the market. Ours is so uniquely different that is at no cost to you. So it's 100% free. It's fully funded by the state of Tennessee. Not only that, we offer a $400 stipend that is a support for all our students. And this program offers a career flexibility. When I say career flexibility, I meant you can actually apply those skills that you learn, like OSHA certifications, Microsoft certification, work ethic skills, into a different industry. So it's applicable to other industries and organizations. It gives you flexibility and a pathways to different sets of career if you do not wish to continue on in the dental industry. So it's so applicable that, somebody can be enrolled in our program and graduate and decided not to continue on in the dental industry. That's fine. They can take the skills that they have equipped themselves with and go on to a different industry. Like
That's awesome.
the work ethic skills, we train them on how to present themselves in an interview, how to write your resume, how to dress for an interview, all these very essential skills to prepare them for the workforce. And like we said, OSHA certifications, Microsoft certifications, all that is certified nationwide. So you can be relocating to a different state and you can take all that certifications and apply that to a different industry in a different state too. And not only that, they walk away with digital and traditional dental techniques certifications. And the wonderful part is the digital part, because they get trained in our state-of-art 3D printers, like Sabrina talked about just now earlier. They're going to learn how to utilize 3D printers to produce dentures, retainers, crowns, and more. And the amazing thing about the 3D printers is that we are the pioneers in utilizing this 3D printing technology in the dental industry. So imagine our current cohort now, they're going to graduate with this set of skills, not just the traditional way of making, crowns and all that, but also with the digital dentistry set of skills. And that's definitely in demand, because then dental providers will want to have these people in their clinics because they are trained both traditional method and digital method in making all the crowns. And with this revolutionary state-of-art technology, what happens is you don't have to bite into a mold. So the traditional method is the patients have to bite into the mold. They have to give a very good bite and then it's sent off to the lab and get created. But a lot of times people who have teeth problems, they're already in pain. So their bite is not a good bite. So what happens is when the product is made and given back to them, delivered to the customer, it doesn't fit properly. So there's a lot of errors in that. And they have to redo that process several times. So it wastes time, waste money, waste the patient's time and everybody's time, the dentist's time too, and the technician's time. Now with this new technology, we use a scanner to scan their mouth. That image is transferred to the computer with augmented reality that's translated to our printer, and we print out dentures, crowns, retainers, and more. And in one single setting, they can print out 20 pieces of those things.
Wow.
Yes. So it's time efficient. And
Mm-hmm.
time is money. We all know that's cost effective to the dental providers too. At the end of the day, they can deliver the end product to their consumer at a faster time.
Mm-hmm.
The turnaround time is so quick. So that's really efficient, cost effective for our industry. So that's a new set of technology that we are embracing right now. And our students are going to graduate with that set of skills. So we're
Mm-hmm.
really proud of them. I'm proud of this program. Yeah.
Yeah. So, folks, if you want to know more, you're going to go to www.helpinghandstennessee.com to learn more. When I get there, what am I going to see? Once I log on to the site, what am I going to see? What type of information do I need to be readily available to fill out the application, do the application process once I get onto the website?
I want to add the website is www.helpinghandstn for
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Tennessee.com.
Mm-hmm.
And Rachel did a great job of explaining how that program works. But if they go there, they can
Mm-hmm.
hit on the very top. It's a financial assistance. They can apply there for financial assistance, or they can apply to become an apprentice. It's just really quick and easy application. It won't take them maybe 5 minutes to do the apprenticeship application. So we
Mm-hmm.
made it easy to find on the website. They can learn a little bit more about our history at Helping Hands. They can
Mm-hmm.
learn more about some of our partners that we're connected to at Helping Hands. So all of that is on our website now. And I'll also point out and say that our classes depends on the counties that we serve. They're generally 3 days a week. And it depends on the county. The times are either from 9 to 12 or 2 to 5 p.m. So we made it where it's easy to go to class. It's not a all day 8 hour scheduling, so it makes it a
Mm-hmm.
little bit easier to have that 3 hour window, 3 days a week. And then in Jackson, our classes are held at the Jackson State Community College facility in the McWhorter building, and it's on Mondays through Wednesdays. One of the instructors is from Jackson State Community College. Part of their faculty will host the OSHA 10, the Microsoft Office, etc. And then Helping Hands, we do all the fundamental training. And then in Brownsville, our classes are from 2 to 5. That's on Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. And then in Bolivar, our classes are held Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Now, don't ask me how I'm keeping up all this stuff. But in Bolivar, our classes are from 9 to 12. We have 2 cohorts in Bolivar. In fact, I will say Hardeman County has stepped up. I'm so proud of Hardeman County because they're very interested in this program. Rachel has done a great job of introducing Hardeman County to this program. So it's either from 9 to 12 or 2 to 5.
Mm-hmm. So where are the classes held in Hardeman County and where are they held in Haywood County?
Yeah, so in Hardeman County, we're at the Mental Health Developmental Services building. So that's where our classes are held. We have a training room that we utilize there. And then in Brownsville, we're inside of the Southwest Human Resource Agency Head Start. They have a
Mm-hmm.
training room there, and it's, the kiddos are gone. That's why we have it from 2 to 5, because before that time frame, the little kiddos are in there.
Mm-hmm.
But during our time, it's just we're utilizing that training room facility there. I think it's on Washington Avenue, but don't hold me to that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's there in Brownsville, brand new building that they were able to get some funding for. So we're very thankful to have 3 wonderful training facilities within those 3 counties.
Okay. So you have a class that's already in progress. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And that class started when?
February the 24th.
And it will go through.
So they graduate, depends on what county, but mid-December is when they graduate. So somewhere in between, towards the end, they're doing their externship. So
Mm-hmm.
I would just say around December 10th, somewhere around that time is the last date, but it really depends on the county.
Okay. And once they graduate, like Rachel has talked about how getting these skills and how you can move to another state and a lot of this, it's going to transfer there. But what do you guys do for the students? Do you help with placement? Is it easy placement or you haven't experienced that part yet? Tell us about that.
Yeah, great question. I don't mind jumping in on that one. So our lead instructor has had about 30 plus years as a licensed dental assistant. She has been an instructor for a couple other colleges, so she is well versed. She has over 100 students that she's trained in the past, so has a wealth of experience. And
Mm-hmm.
from all of that, she's have a lot of good connections that she's been able to make, particularly in the Memphis area. So
Mm-hmm.
because of that, she's already went to some dental laboratory there, and they've agreed to take our students on. They've agreed that they
Awesome.
can have some additional training, and to the ones that she will recommend, they're willing to hire right off the
Mm-hmm.
bat. They don't even have to finish the apprenticeship program. I was completely floored by that, but I said, okay, well, that's a beautiful situation that they're willing to look at some of the stars and
Mm-hmm.
make some selection from there. We can't guarantee a job. We're not going to
Mm-hmm.
say that, but we're
Sure.
going to work very hard on making sure that they not only have that hands-on experience from us, but those opportunities for job placement within the dental office setting. And so
Mm-hmm.
some of these dentists are upgrading and utilizing 3D printers now. They're making retainers. They're
Mm-hmm.
making surgical guides. Those are easy things to make. I know my dentist, to whiten my teeth, I still need to work on a little bit, but he made it instantly in there. He made the 3D for the tray that I have. So that technology is being utilized to some point in dental offices. And the busier your office is, the more that you'll need someone that can fulfill those orders for you in house, and it saves a lot of money and a lot of patient time too.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's a win-win situation for that practice. So we're working on that now. That is actually, Rachel can tell you a little bit more about that, but that's actually what she's working on now, is developing those partnerships.
Okay.
Yes. So
Okay.
I'm actually right now developing and fostering relationships and with all these dental providers for externship for our students, as well as to assist them with job placements once they graduate.
Mm-hmm.
So yes,
Mm-hmm.
we do not, like Sabrina said, we do not guarantee a job, but we will assist
Yeah.
them to the
Yeah.
fullest that we can, like guiding them on how to present themselves, how
Mm-hmm.
to write their
Mm-hmm.
resume, how to make sure that their key points have highlighted the skills they have equipped during our training and to present that to the dental providers. But of course, the relationships and partnerships that I'm establishing with them would somehow help with the students, externship as well as job placements once they graduate.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
And
Go
I'll
ahead.
also add that, it's not going to hurt our feelings if they decide, look, we want to become a dental hygienist.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
want that. We need a lot of hygienists. So
Mm-hmm.
we're working on some other strategies that I won't be able to announce today, but I am excited about the opportunities that some of these students will have before they graduate. We hope to have some additional partnerships that we can announce very soon. And that will be an easy transition for them. So we want them to continue their education, but we are looking to how can we as an entity help it make it possible for them to where they don't have to worry about tuition. So again, partnerships is where it's all at. And fortunately, we've been able to identify several partners that have the funding to help beyond our scope of training. So it's very exciting to know that if they are seeking to become a dental lab technician, we got their back. If they're seeking to become a dental hygienist, a dentist, we want to be able to make that transition, that warm handoff to where they
Mm-hmm.
don't feel like they're going to walk into a bunch of debt to do
Mm-hmm.
that. And there's resources that can help people be able to fulfill their dreams. And that's what this is all about for us.
Yes. Yeah. So I'm old, not just old school. I'm old. So I remember the words vocational school. So when someone's learning a skill and they're in this arena, um, so I know in the past I've known about situations where people from the outside, from the community, from the public, once you start your intern or externship, can come in and get services provided to them, maybe at a discounted cost or maybe at no cost.
Mhm.
Will that be? Is that how this program is? That people can come in and get certain things done at some point? How do you guys operate?
That may happen. So we're working on another opportunity there. I can't write fast enough. I cannot write faster. I'm working on 8 grants right now as we speak. It's a lot. It's totally a lot. But that's what we want. We want people to be able to, I mean, that's, we have experience of almost 9 years of
Mm-hmm.
providing, dental services. So we are currently in the process. In fact, I'll be meeting with some people next week about that, to be able to offer some programs where they can participate, the general public can participate
Mm-hmm.
and have some experiences, because discounted dental services is absolutely needed. We
Mm-hmm.
know how desperate people can be, especially if you're in
Yeah.
pain.
Yeah.
And then that's expensive to get that extraction or to get that
Mm-hmm.
crown. So we understand that firsthand, and we've seen it with all the patients that we manage within our practice. So we're looking to make some special announcements very, very soon,
Yeah.
within the next few weeks, and I will be happy to run over there and tell you all about it. So
Thank you.
we're working on that. So right now, to answer your question, we don't have it, an
In
opportunity
place.
where somebody can come
Mm-hmm.
in and be
Mm-hmm.
able to receive an appliance, because these ladies and gentlemen are practicing. So we don't
Mm-hmm.
want them to receive any of those appliances right now.
Sure.
But moving down the line, there's some other opportunities that we have already looked into, and our board is
Sure.
on board about us moving down this pathway. So it's exciting.
Yeah. So, gosh, we're already at another break. When we come back, I'd like to tap into, you've mentioned like the wraparound approach more than once. I'd like to tap into that in terms of, you both have talked about partnerships,
Mhm.
like talk about some of those partnerships and how beneficial it is in terms of providing certain services for people that might be interested in enrolling into your program. And for those folks that are worried about affordability, the things that, some information about what they can do. So let's talk about that. When we get back from break, we're at break again. We'll be right back on 94.7 FM on Doctor to Doctor in the chat room. We are talking to Sabrina and Rachel from Helping Hands, and we're getting some great information for you guys. So stay with us. We'll be back in a moment. I hope that you are still here joining us with Helping Hands today, Helping Hands of Tennessee, to talk about some of the great opportunities that they have to offer for those folks that want to jumpstart a career. And maybe you've been thinking, I don't have the funds to do it. And maybe you're thinking you don't have the time to do it. Well, Helping Hands has done everything. They got everything in place to make sure that you can get an opportunity to get involved in this pre-apprenticeship. Let's talk about the wraparound support services, like your transportation, childcare, and any other assistance that you offer. Maybe talk about some of the partnerships that you have that help with some of these support services.
Okay. So,
Go ahead, Rachel.
all right, I'll go for it. Okay. So, we offer a wraparound services of $500 childcare assistance, as well as $150 for utilities or food, transportation, or housing. So the $500 is an additional plus that. So 500 plus, either utilities, food, housing, or transportation. However, because it's such a limited funds that we have for all that wraparound services and financial assistance, we do partner with several other partner agencies, such as the Southwest Human Resource Agency, Department of Human Services, American Job Center, where they have other fundings and other grants with their other programs that we can ride on with them. So it's something like a dual enrollment for our students, so to speak, where they are enrolled in that program as well as our program in order to extend the additional support. So anything that's outside of our capacity of assistance, we would refer them to all these partner agencies that we have been working,
Mm-hmm.
collaborating with.
Mm-hmm.
And I would stress that partnerships are really important, especially in the nonprofit world, because like what Sabrina said, we want to try to help everybody in terms of all types of needs that they may have. But with us as an entity, we do not have sufficient resources to be
Mhm.
able to extend that kind of support to everybody. So
Mhm.
by partnering with other partner agencies, we make that a possibility to enroll more students, extend more support, to be able to make sure that everybody gets that resources they need, like mental health, food insecurities, housing. Stable housing is very important. Transportation is another issue that we are facing right now here in West Tennessee. And all that contributes to them being able to empower their skills, equip
Mhm.
themselves with a new set of skills and go out to get better jobs, better health outcomes. And eventually, what we want to achieve is to end the cycle of poverty. So, all these partnerships is going to definitely help because we are united as one cause, that we can write on that grant to extend support to all these people. Just like, if they live in a different counties beyond what we're serving, we can write on that program and extend that support. If that
Yeah,
makes
so what I was saying earlier about the barriers to the
sense.
social determinants of health, and that is near and dear to us because, again, that's kind of where people are having the biggest hurdle, if you will. And sometimes it's just embarrassment.
Mhm.
And sometimes it's about not being able to just find the resources, or it's all the red tape. Sometimes it
Mm.
seems like red tape to us because sometimes it is. And it's like, okay, I
Yeah.
got to provide you this, and it can be discouraging. So for our part, what our director of operations and social worker has been tasked with is to understand exactly how some of these programs that are addressing the barriers to the social determinants of health, how exactly does the application process work, and doing a warm handoff. That's the
Mhm.
best thing that you can do for someone that's needing transportation, instead of just, hey, call so and so. Because again, embarrassment, not knowing how the process works, feeling like
Mhm.
there's a bunch of red tape, and some people right off the bat will not call. Yeah,
Mhm.
so it's our mental blockers that we may have. And so
Yeah.
we're partnered with, for financial literacy, we're partnered with United Way of West Tennessee. They are providing the credit score, helping them understand their credit score, having that credit report in their hand, and then providing one-on-one counseling. We're partnered with the Jackson-Madison County Regional Health Department, so that people can have access if they need it for birth control, for immunizations. We're partnered with the UT Extension for cooking classes and cooking demonstrations, so that
Okay.
people can have enhance their nutritional awareness, to making sure that, am I eating healthy? I'm getting my
Mhm.
education.
Mhm.
And so that usually ties in with other things, right? So,
Mhm.
and then homelessness, and having, the worry of eviction, the Tennessee Homeless Solutions. I know that our director of operations already met with them. So how do we help them navigate through that process? And again, on our side of it, we want to make it as easy as possible. Southwest Human Resource Agency, not only are we utilizing a space that they own, but we're also depending upon them to help us with food,
Mhm.
utility assistance, job placement. And they have all these different resources, and all of these different, not all of them, but some of these organizations that I just mentioned provide stipends. They can help with that. Some of them, like the American Job Center, can provide an hourly wage.
Mm.
So people apply through American Job Center and say, hey, I want to have my apprenticeship, be a part of that program at Helping Hands. You can get an hourly wage. So I don't know exactly how all that works with American Job Center. I don't work over there, but I do know that they have those programs available that's federally
Mhm.
funded. So we're
You
trying, go ahead, I'm
No,
sorry.
no, no, I'm sorry. Finish
We're
your
just
point.
trying to take advantage of all of these resources to be able to, again, reduce those barriers.
Mhm.
Don't want someone sitting in the classroom afraid that the lights are going to get turned off,
Yes.
because you know
Mhm.
what? That person's going to get discouraged and they're not going to show back up at class. And there goes
Mhm.
their dreams. And then what happens after that? Now they feeling bad about themselves, which triggers depression and anxiety. So we don't
Mhm.
want people to have those experiences. So,
Mhm.
our director of operations is tasked with like really uncovering, by providing a needs assessment. So we know exactly what's going on with each apprentice. Uh,
Mhm.
and that way we can kind of dive a little bit deeper. And then there's the mental health awareness self check. Well, from that list, we can then look at that person, at least the director of operations and social worker, and determine, do they need to have a further evaluation? There are more resources that they need. And then removing that stigma for that person to prepare them for that transfer, because a lot of us have that stigma in our mind, to
Mhm.
whereas we see mental health providers as those the crazy folks doctors,
Yeah.
you know, as opposed to these are life coaches. These
Mm-hmm.
are people, our brain is just one organ out of many. And
Mm-hmm.
so we need, just like we would have a heart checkup or your lungs checkup and all of that, we need a mental checkup. And it's so
Mm-hmm.
it's a natural and normal thing, but unfortunately a lot of us don't see it that way. And so these partners are essential for us. We're thankful for the partners and funding through Department of Human Services. They've been amazing. That program that they have is amazing. And some of those
Mm-hmm.
agencies are working along with us. And then the Department of Economic Community Development, because this is a digital learning program. And so it ties into their overall goals. And so we have a plethora of partners, and we're growing that list all the time.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking for
Mm-hmm.
more. Even like a newer one is Asper Recovery. We
Mm-hmm.
got our MOU with Asper Recovery because, again, those are folks that have experienced alcohol and substance abuse, and they need those
Mm.
resources. So some of those are our students now that are participating in the Madison County area. So again, we're happy to grow partners even more. If somebody that's listening is part of a nonprofit organization or a state federal entity that provides programs to be able to help remove some
Mm-hmm.
of those barriers to social determinants of health, we want to know who you are, and we want to work alongside with you. I didn't mention all the partners. Rachel can kick in, I guess, if I miss somebody, like Salvation Army with food. It's a lot, right? But with
Yeah.
food,
We
again,
work with a
just
lot of
reach out
partners.
to whomever that we
Mm-hmm.
can to be able to help with our apprentices.
Yeah, and when I was about to jump in, you've already pretty much answered my question. I was going to ask about, because you mentioned mental health a couple of times, and so when you do these assessments, you guys have agencies that you can connect
Yes.
folks to if there
Exactly.
are some mental health concerns.
Exactly. That's number one, is being
Mm-hmm.
able to do that warm transfer. So,
Mm-hmm.
and again, this is a pilot program, so some of the things you have to work out the logistics as what's in the
Mm-hmm.
best interest of that
Mm-hmm.
apprentice,
Mm-hmm.
what's going to make them feel the most comfort. And so
Mm-hmm.
one thing that we're working in our curriculum now and having those discussions is having some guest speakers that we can have maybe 10 minutes within the classroom time to
Mm-hmm.
talk about mental health, because it's such a dominant issue within our community because of the stigma. And so we want to make it really easy for people to understand. So when that transfer happens, that
Mm-hmm.
referral happens, they can accept it,
Mm-hmm.
and they won't
Mm-hmm.
have that feeling of that it's not for them when it
Yeah.
truly benefit their lives.
Mm-hmm. I love it that you guys aren't, know the importance of not working in silos. I love that. I love it that you're about partnerships. As I said before, I love it that you're about mobilizing our communities.
Yes.
Um, I never really thought about um, the challenges with dental care. I mean, it makes all the sense in the world, because even when you've got the best of insurance,
Mhm.
sometimes dental care can still be challenging. So
Absolutely.
imagine people that don't have any, right? So, yeah.
Absolutely. A lot of people are making so many sacrifices in their lives already.
Mhm.
And then oral health care is one of them.
Mhm.
They procrastinate it because
Mhm.
A, they're looking at that dollar, and
Mhm.
they're, some extractions are $200-300 a tooth.
That's
And they're
right.
like, there's no way. So they just put it on the back burner, go get some medication. Some of them go inside of a dental office just to get the antibiotics and the pain medicine.
Right.
And at least they're out of pain,
Move
they
on.
move
Yes.
on. But they're not realizing that they have poison inside of their body.
Mm.
They have poison. That bacteria is touching every single vital organ that you have, because it's traveling in your blood system, that your blood is traveling to all your parts of your body. So that
Mhm.
means, and explains why poor oral health care through time is linked to just about every chronic health condition you can think of. It's linked to
Mm.
heart disease, it's linked to cancer. So when you think of it in those terms, we must do a great job with just educating people on oral health and the importance thereof of having oral health care, and how
Mhm.
to have great oral health care within your own home. What can you do? And so these students are learning, because they're learning basic dental terminology and basic dental anatomy. they're learning about the importance of oral health care.
Yeah.
So, and now they can tell their family and their friends, because we don't want people to have a cavity. And more importantly, we don't want that bacteria to have been flustered in your body for so long. There are people who have died because of a bacteria infection within their oral health care. When it goes bad, there was a recent story about someone with a popcorn that got stuck, caused major bacteria infection, and they died. So it's very serious. And I'll share a story about this if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
There was a patient that came in to our clinic, and when I saw the patient, all I saw was the dental assistant said, "Smile for Sabrina," and he showed me his pearly whites and went on out with his walker down the hallway. We have a long hallway in that building, and and she was in tears. I said, "Tell me about him." And so she said, "Sabrina, you don't understand. When he first came in here, he was in a wheelchair, and he'd been told by his main doctor, I guess a specialist, that he was going to die if he did not get those teeth extracted, because it was just a lot of bacteria infection through his body. And so he needed those teeth to be removed. And but the cost, because they were down to his root tips, that's an oral surgical procedure. And
Yeah.
the cost was just too much. And he finally got to us. And the day that he got to us, I guess he thought that we weren't going to help him either. But we hired some amazing dentists that we work with. They can just take those root tips right on out of there. And so we were able to do that for him at a huge discount. And that patient transitioned from being in a wheelchair to being able to walk, all
Wow.
because of oral health care. That's how
Wow.
significant that is. So it can absolutely change your life. It can make you feel more confident. And so these students, who will one day, some of them, become a dental laboratory technician, hopefully they'll be working even with us, because we're going to be helping other free and charitable clinics throughout the country.
Awesome.
They know that that appliance that they're making is going to go to someone that most likely is low income, that needed that lifeline. So it's a feel good moment, that knowing what you're doing is not only helping you out and your family, and you get a livelihood, a livable wage, but you're also simultaneously helping someone that may not have ever had access to that type of service.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
is a major win-win situation. And even Rachel said that, by utilizing the 3D technology, that lowers the cost of a dental provider in the first place. It removes some of those mistakes that people make. So that's even more, important for some of these free and charitable clinics that have not been able to provide those type of services, like crowns and dentures, because they can't afford all those lab costs. And so
Yeah.
by working with us, they'll be able to reduce their costs dramatically. And so we're excited about our next phase. We're on phase 2. This is the
Yeah.
implementation stage, but it will continue to grow as we grow this pilot program all the way out.
Yeah. And let me just insert right here to my friends that give me a hard time about not eating popcorn. There you go. I don't. I love popcorn, but I'm like, I don't want anything that I'm picking out of my teeth 2 weeks down the road, or I'm finding a kernel or something. I don't think so. So
It gets challenging, and that's real.
yes.
People can get infections from that. It's real.
Yeah. And I mean,
Now
and
it's
I've really been a person that has had that something kind of stuck in my gums for real. Like, and so like I don't do popcorn. But anyway. Any final thoughts that you would like to share, Rachel, before we go? And one other thing I wanted to ask you, and I know you mentioned this, but just reiterate who's eligible to apply for the program, and then give us your final thoughts, please.
Right. This program is eligible for anybody from 16 years and above, to no age limit. You can be 80 and you want to equip yourself with a new set of skills just for self-satisfaction. Go ahead, I would say.
Yeah.
And this program is for everybody and anybody residing in Madison, Hardeman, and Haywood County. But our specific target demographics are low-income individuals, veterans, ex-offenders, and single parents, because our program, like what Sabrina said, it's only 3 hours per day, 3 days a week. So it
Mhm.
offers a lot of flexibility for single parents to balance work life and family life, and you still can have a part-time job because it's just a 9 hours commitment in 1 week. So
Mhm.
we have a lot of benefits to our program, be it that flexible, and
Mhm.
and also being flexible where they can use the skills that they have equipped themselves with to integrate into a different industry or organization. I would like to stress that this is a program where they should just hop on. What we need to do is build awareness to enable the community to be aware of this program, because a lot of them who are not aware, they don't even know they need it. But once
Mhm.
they come to know about it, they will soon realize that they actually need it, because
Mhm.
these are the set of skills that would actually empower you to enter a new industry or use as a backup, even if you
Mhm.
have the current job right now. But this is a set of skills where you can use as a backup just in case your job don't turn out well, you want to go into emerge into a different industry. That
Mhm.
would be great too, because like we said, it's very versatile. The
Mhm.
skills that they're gonna equip themselves, Microsoft, OSHA, work ethic skills, they're all transferable, applicable to other industries. And I just want to say that they should not think so much about it. Hop on to our website at helpinghandstn.com and sign up today. The application process is very simple. It's not complicated at all. The forms are just simple questions about, like your education level, household size, how much do you make per hour. That's all. Like,
Mhm.
very easy to fill out. And we are currently recruiting for August cohort, and I'm very excited about how this program is going to fully take off into the next phase, like what Sabrina said, where the students go for the externship.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Sabrina.
Yeah, so Rachel touched on so many great things, and one of those things that we both talked about was the financial assistance.
Mhm.
So I want to emphasize that because that's a separate application. Now, you
Mhm.
do have to prove your income to
Mhm.
qualify for that program, so we will need paycheck stubs, and the social worker can provide more information about that and what's
Mhm.
acceptable. But you can get financial assistance. You don't have to be a student. So we
Mhm.
want to encourage people that if you need childcare assistance, if you need utility help, if you need housing, any of those that we mentioned, transportation, we can provide you some assistance. You do have to apply, you do have to be eligible. And even if we can't help you, we'll make sure that we can find someone that we can tap into, because most of the time, if it's about the income, there's several other programs that you may qualify for. And it could,
Right.
we can only help you with a small piece of the pie, but someone else can help you with the other piece. So we want
Yeah.
to be able to touch those people and encourage them. Call our office, go on our website first, apply, and you will have your application followed up with. There's as soon as you hit that submit button, that starts the clock, and we have a few hours or so,
Mhm.
especially for emergency. If someone's lights about to get shut off, we want to hurry up and address that right away. Food, those are areas that we want to touch on quickly. So we found the resources, use us as a tool, use our other resources that's out there, our partners as tools, but we're happy and willing to help people.
Well, thank you both again for being here. Folks, this is Helping Hands from Tennessee. You can go to www.helpinghandstn, as in Tennessee.com, to get more information about their programs. Thank you, ladies, for being here. And always thank you guys for coming back every Saturday to hang out with me for this hour. Please come back next Saturday, same chat channel, same chat time, right here on Doctor to Doctor in the chat room on WOJG.com 94.7 FM. I will see you next Saturday.